Hello and welcome to Complexity Limits Guide for the Heroic Ny'alotha encounter, written and produced by Crzypck in coordination with Complexity Limit, brought to you by GameStop. Ny'alotha is a 3-phase encounter. Before you begin the fight, you should split your raid in half and assign groups for phase 2. Each group needs a tank and half of the DPS and healers. Everybody in the raid will start the encounter with a sanity bar and an extra action button. You have 100 sanity to work with, and the extra action button will refill your sanity over 4 seconds. Several mechanics throughout the fight will drain your sanity. If your sanity bar ever reaches 0, you'll get a 20-second buff making you deal double damage and healing, but when it expires, you'll be mind controlled. If the player gets mind controlled, the raid will need to kill them ASAP. If at any point you get below 25 sanity, you should use your button immediately. At the start of the fight, Ny'alotha will pick everybody up in your raid and pull them into the Vision Realm. This will leave your body behind at the location where you were picked up. Inside this Vision Realm, you'll fight Cycus and deal with a large number of Void Tentacles. When Cycus stands near a tentacle that dies, he'll gain a 50% stacking increased damage taken buff. The idea here is to move Cycus from tentacle to tentacle, killing the tentacles while he's on top of them, getting multiple stacks of the damage increase buff on him, and then killing him. In phase 1, we recommend swapping and hard nuking Cycus after he's reached 4 stacks of the damage taken increase buff. When Cycus dies, you'll then need to run back to your body. Whenever Cycus dies throughout the fight, the boss is then stunned for 30 seconds. Inside of the Vision Realm, the tentacles themselves will zap people, which is something that just needs to be healed through. Cycus will periodically drop void goop puddles directly underneath himself that'll expand to be a massive size. Make sure to not block off your path back to your bodies with the goop. We recommend moving counterclockwise with Cycus and starting with the tentacle near the outer edge. Keep moving to new tentacles near the outer edges until Cycus has 4 damage taken stacks. At that point, nuke Cycus down, then run back to your body. This will move you into phase 2. If you fail to get back to your body within 20 seconds of Cycus dying, you will instantly die. At the beginning of phase 2, Ny'alotha will be stunned for 30 seconds but attackable. All of your DPS should use their cooldowns here. Near the end of this 30 seconds, red neurons will start to spawn around the room and spread some goop. You'll need to kill them off to create a line between Ny'alotha and the outer edge of the room, which will leave a safe zone for you to stand in. Ny'alotha will then use Mind Grasp, pulling everybody in the raid either directly towards himself or the outer edge. You can tell which direction this is going to be by looking at the small lines pulling your character. Run the opposite direction of wherever the lines are pointing. After this, 3 types of tentacle adds will spawn. The Basher tentacles need to be tanked, the Corruptor tentacles need to be interrupted, and the Spike tentacles will throw out small amounts of damage to random people. DPS should prioritize killing the Corruptor tentacles first, then Bashers, then Spikes. When any tentacle dies, it'll throw gunk at a bunch of red swirlies. Don't stand in this. Ny'alotha will also cast a couple of abilities. Paranoia will link random people together in pairs of 2. You'll need to stand by your linked friend, and everybody else needs to move 5 yards away from the people with Paranoia. On top of this, Ny'alotha will periodically zap everybody in the physical realm for moderate damage. 1 minute after a Mind Grasp happens, a Mind Gate will open. This will happen twice total during phase 2. Everyone in the raid should use their extra action button to restore their sanity before they take their assigned Mind Gate. Half of your raid will take this at a time, entering the Vision Realm and fighting Cycus again. This will work exactly like it did in phase 1, but you'll only have half the number of DPS players to kill him with. We recommend getting 6 of the damage increase stacks now, and then nuking him. If Cycus reaches 100 energy before you kill him, you wipe. Half number 1 will have to dodge red swirlies when they're inside the vision. Half number 2 will take a small amount of damage when they move, and have their sanity slowly drained. Each time Cycus dies, Ny'alotha will be stunned for 30 seconds. DPS should use all cooldowns when this happens and pump as much damage into Ny'alotha as they can. We recommend using Bloodlust immediately after half number 2 exits their vision when Ny'alotha gets stunned. After this stun ends, you'll enter phase 3. The Thought Harvester adds will now periodically spawn and need to be tanked. Everybody should stand in melee range of these and kill them. The ad will cast Harvest Thoughts, which deals light AoE damage but drains 200 sanity total. This is split evenly between everybody hit. If at least 3 people aren't hit by this, it'll instead drain 50 sanity from everybody in the raid. Ny'alotha himself will continue using Mind Grasp like he did in phase 2, as well as periodically zapping the raid for moderate damage. He'll also summon 4 eyes around him that'll shoot lasers. Being hit by this deals moderate damage and fears you. Oh, and the lasers spin too. Lastly, he'll cast Evoke Anguish, which deals ticking damage to the raid over 8 seconds. When it expires, it'll leave purple goop puddles under every player. Each subsequent time this ability is cast, all of the old puddles will grow in size. What you'll want to do is stack up and drop the first set of puddles as close together as possible, and then drop all subsequent puddles as close to the old ones. The raid will need to rotate around the room slowly as this phase goes on due to these puddles growing over time. Eventually, you'll get Ny'alotha down to 2% health, you'll win, and you'll go into a cool little cinematic to celebrate. Grats, happy ahead of the curve, and I hope you enjoy your Void Dragon. Thanks for watching. We hope you found the guide helpful. If you'd like more details on this encounter or how it works, please click the link below to our written guide. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. You can also find the rest of our Ny'alotha boss guides right here on our channel or at complexity.gg. For more content like this, follow Complexity on Twitter and subscribe to their YouTube channel. To keep up with Limit's race for World First, follow them on Twitter. Happy raiding!